G'day and welcome, I'm Faintly Saintly, and today we're looking at 9 Kings. This is a little one I've been playing for a few days now. It's a little indie game I found on the Steam store and it turned out to be absolutely fantastic, so I thought I would jump on here and show it off a little bit. It came out a few days ago. And what this is basically a roguelike kingdom builder with some deck builder elements. Not in a traditional sense, but we'll get to that. So let's just dive straight in. I've just wiped my data so we can start again. And as you can see at the very start, you choose your king, and there are a handful to unlock, and a few to come in further updates as well, so that's interesting. So we start as the king of nothing, and this gives us a breakdown of what cards this king has. Every king has his own deck, so to speak. You can level up your king as well for perks that you can unlock with, like in a sort of a skill tree. And there are also a handful of difficulties to choose from. I think by default you start with peasant. You play a few games, then you can unlock more. So we'll start with the base game. Now it tells you here, these are your enemies. So these determine the units and enemies that you'll face. You'll notice one of them was actually a corrupted version of myself as well. So you will run into similar units and cards that you already own. So the first step is generally to place your castle, or each king has his own sort of starting building. So you place that on your grid. Then you want to drag a troop card onto an empty plot. So that's basically how it works. You play cards, you place them onto your grid, and then each day or year you come out and you face an enemy. Your castle usually has a turret or some kind of weapon on it, so we can actually click and fire that, just like that. Although there is normally an option to auto-fire that. That's probably just part of the tutorial that's not there yet. So we won the battle, and we can choose a card to take into our hand, and you'll notice these are all different. These are actually cards from the king we just fought, and that's why your opponent actually matters, because they actually dictate what sort of cards and builds you'll get. So we can get a troop here, an assassin, a vault that gives us gold, or a mortgage which you can use to clear a tile to get gold, depending on what level it was. But we'll just start with a thief, I guess. You can stack cards to level them up. Might just pop a little thief here, just get a bit more firepower going. So little fellas will run out, and here we go, we can actually fast forward now. Make the battles go a little bit quicker. Paladin or a farm. I'm going to grab the farm because we have 2 farm cards now. So I can actually plot one right there. And what the farm does is actually every year it'll add +1 troop to everything adjacent to it. So that's one way to increase your population or the size of your army, which is nice. The dispenser is a turret, so like you can build defensive structures as well as troops, or the beacon, which can be used to buff units around it as well. I might pick the dispenser. And this is important as well. The number that shows up over each tile shows you the damage they did in the last round, so you can see who your top performers are, where your damage is coming from, and which ones are maybe underperforming and need to be changed. At this point, I'm going to upgrade the farm, and that'll help keep my numbers growing. Which means my army will get stronger every turn. Pretty good. So this is a different king now. This was the king of progress, so you can see we've got a different set of cards as well. We can re-roll for 10 gold, I guess it is. But what do we want? Get a lab rat, maybe? No max level. I haven't used the lab rat before. And after a while, you come across these, which are sort of more larger scale buffs that you can unlock. Doubles critical damage, increases the damaging range of area attacks, or doubles the movement speed. I'm going to go movement speed. I think I'm going to pop a lab rat right there. So the lab rats are basically small and dispensable units, but they can scale, I guess, over time. You can upgrade your castle as well, so I've got that card back here. So I might actually do that. That increases its damage and hits per second. With the right cards and perks, you can actually have these things rapid fire. I actually forgot to set that to auto, so I'll set that to auto now, and that'll just start shooting by itself, which is nice. One less thing to worry about. Yes, and you get these as well, randomly throughout your session. They foresee a blessing in 9 years, and that can be random. And it says the cards on the target plots will level up. So in 9 years, any cards in these 3 tiles will level up for free. So you've got 9 turns basically to plan for that. And upgrade the lab rat. There you go, so my castle is shooting properly. Nice, not having too much trouble at this stage. Get a soldier, I can upgrade the archer. What am I going to do with the archer? Level that up. We've got 25 archers, 12 thieves, and 7 rats. Very nice. Spend 30 gold to increase every stat of a troop or tower by 15%. That can be good. Yes, time to wage war against another king. So now we need to choose a new opponent to face. The King of Nature or the King of Stone. And as I mentioned, as you can tell, they've all got their own unique decks as well. So that will change exactly who you're fighting. As I pick Nature. So now we've got these enemies. And at some point we will make peace with one of them and they will be removed from the enemy pool as well, which is nice. I might stick a dispenser here, because that will level up as part of that blessing. As you can see, they'll sit there and shoot away. And every time I earn gold, that will actually shoot faster, which is nice. Executioner, that's a ranged troop, always attacks the enemy with the lowest health. That can be useful. And I might pop that on this square actually, just so it also gets the upgrade. So it won't benefit from the farm, unfortunately. But when that blessing rolls in, we'll get a free upgrade, which is nice as well. What can I do? I'll get the dispenser. Nice, now we're in the merchant, so we can get a number of different things from all different builds, all different decks. Demon's Altar is nice, that summons demons that get buffed as your units die. Another dispenser, maybe a castle upgrade. 30 bucks, I'll take that. We have 4 cards, so we should actually be able to play 2 this turn. So I'll upgrade the castle there. And I think what I will do is I'll put a dispenser on this square as well. So when that blessing comes in, I'll get 2 with a free upgrade. Whether that's better than just having 1 level 3, I'm not sure. But I'm sure we'll find out. Here we go, a new deck now, because we face a new opponent. I can give units attacks poison. I can plant a mushroom farm that spawns fighting mushroom spores on the battlefield. Or I can clone a selected card. It can be useful. Because, say for example, if I want to upgrade my farm, I can just clone that card. And then I'm guaranteed to have it in my hand, basically. Might do that. Yes, and every now and then this tower pops up. And enables expansion mode. I can actually then unlock a new tile to build in. Which is nice. I'm going to clone the farm. I'm going to upgrade the farm. That also upgrades the rat, which is nice. And the little fellas will go at it again. Very cool. More rats. I think I'll do that. What are we? Level +3. 16 rats. Level 6, sorry. 1, 2, 3 levels +3. They're not the strongest, but they can scale indefinitely, really. Oh, another farm. Cancels the first hit. That could be okay. You get these buff cards as well, which you can apply buffs to units. Do I want more farms? Maybe I'll re-roll. Blacksmith. Every year adds plus 2% attack damage to adjacent troops and constructions. That could be good. Or a defensive troop. Might do the paladin. I'm going to pop him right in the middle there. Roll decree. 99 coins. Receive 2 cards after every battle, but you can't choose your loot. All units and towers have 20% chance extra to deal critical damage. Some good choices. There's some crits. I'll put the paladin right there. So he brings a bit of health. He's got way more health than anything else I have at the moment. So he'll be a little bit tanky. And hopefully absorb some shots while the range units get to work. Lovely. It's not a bad little buff to have early in the game. To keep leveling up this lab rat. I think it's 49 enemies now. We've got 79 of our own. So the enemy armies do scale and get bigger and bigger. Might grab another ogre and invest. Do I buff the rats just because there's so many of them? Well, there's only 19, I suppose. Most of our damage is coming from the archers. I do want the paladins to succeed as well. Give them a little buff. So once you're at this stage, when the battles start getting a bit longer, you can crank up that speed. And that whole interaction is basically just an auto battler style thing, so you can't really interact with it. Get my archers upgraded. There we go. So that prophecy came in and these 3 tiles got upgraded. Dispensers are now level 2. They'll do more damage and shoot faster. And the executioner got leveled up as well. So my rats are now +5, which is lovely. Soon to be... Oh, they're not +6. Adjacent plots need to be +6. There's just something really satisfying about watching a little army go about it. I don't want to destroy a target plot. Turns enemies into rats, that's interesting. Let's get more lab rats. Should be noted as well, you probably can already tell, but the damage you take in battle doesn't carry on. Your units will return to full strength after the round. Which is nice. I'll give someone some poison damage, eh? Get a new tile as well, so might as well go there near the rats. Who did most of our damage then? These guys, the thieves. It's probably not a bad idea. I'll give them poison, because the thieves will actually jump to the back line. And they're the ones you see over here, fighting the range units. So a bit of poison there can help do a little bit more damage. Nice. Definitely upgrade the paladin, couldn't I? And then numbers are slowly going up to the farm. Feels weird in the games I've played. I usually didn't have the bigger army ever, I just had a stronger army. Whereas this match is sort of going the opposite way. Okay, we've got the gambling one back again. Every poison effect is now applied twice. Every time enemies attack your units, those enemies gain poison. Ooh, gee, I'd like to have both. Let's do the thorns. I'm also going to buff the archers, because they are my main damage dealers right now. Another lab rat, sure. How much damage are they doing? 4. Not an amazing amount. What can I do here? More attack speed. Overinvest. Oh, here we go. We can now make peace with an enemy king. So if there's somebody I don't want to keep drawing cards from, or if there's somebody with a unit that causes my build particular trouble, I can get rid of them. But I don't actually know. I'll get rid of nature. So back to these 3 kings, including the buff a plague doctor. Alright, who needs a buff? My paladins keep getting stronger as well. The longer they survive, the better. Lots of poison going up, which is lovely. Going alright. Wildcard is nice, that can upgrade anything. And anything can be upgraded at the moment, except for the castle and the farm, which are already level 3. What can I do? Could do the towers. Maybe I'll just focus on the paladins. We've got 110 health now. The rats have 7 for context. Beautiful. Some interesting ones here. The defender. It doesn't attack, but it reflects damage taken, so it's another big tanky unit. But I might upgrade my executioner. I think that's only level 2. Yeah. And we have some interesting ones here. This is like a rainbow card. Destroys target plot forever. Automatically triggers a Royal Council event, which I think is what gives you these decrees over here. Units attacks heal for 25% of damage dealt. That can be interesting as well. Might actually, I've got a little bit of money. I'll grab that. Give that to my paladins, and that'll help them survive. Of course, once they get into a big brawl like this, it's really hard to tell who's doing what in the end. Have a blacksmith already? No. We'll grab that. So my paladins were actually my highest damage dealers that round as well. I'm guessing because they're now surviving longer, they're doing more damage. Let's buff them again. Let's keep them going. We need 26. And they sort of do have an indication of what's coming ahead in the years to come along the top there. Might as well grab a lab rat. Another plot. If I go there, blacksmith can go there, and then I've got room to add more units nearby. I found it is hard to add units later in the game, because by that stage they're already way behind. You know, we've got 28 years of buffs into some of these units already. And some just won't catch up to that. We'll get more rats, just for the laugh of it. You can dispose of cards here in the well. Which I might do that. You sell it for a bit of gold, you lose your turn. That means you can draw a new card next turn. And get a little bit of a cash injection. Mercenary. Strong but fickle warriors for hire. You always have 1 unit for each 15 gold you own. So if you're the greed king and you're focusing on getting lots of money, they can be very strong. Doubles the maximum HP of all currently actually active troops. That's actually crazy. 3 random plots. Attack speed of towers by 50%. Oh man. That would go crazy, but doubling HP. That's amazing. 250 now. Nice. Do I want 2 lots of lab rats? I'm not sure that I do, to be honest. But that'll slowly help their damage grow as well. Another wild card. Really need a troop to put down there. I'm just going to keep buffing the paladins. That's a huge army, 314. Give me a reroll. Alright, give me a defender. Bomber runs towards the enemy and explodes, dealing area damage. I wish I could afford that. Can't afford anything, actually. That's alright, I'll plop the defender down. You won't do much to start with, there's only 3 of them. Some damage. Bugger all, but they did something. Now, what level are these? Level 2, level 2? Yep. Oh, a thief. Only level 1. Fix that. Thieves did really well there, just mopped up their archers. What am I going to put there? More archers, soldiers. Here we go. The King of Progress leading his final assault. We have to play all our cards, so this is the end, basically. Year 33. Going to upgrade the blacksmith just to get a bit more damage into these guys. I've got 2 free upgrades in my hand. Could upgrade the defender twice, level 3. I could upgrade both the dispensers. What does it look like now? Oh, nearly double damage, an extra 10 damage. Yeah, I think that's the safe way to go. And now we have this big boss mech looking thing. And he died almost instantly. These turrets are going nuts now. And that was actually pretty painless. Your kingdom has thrived. Now we can continue playing. There is an endless mode. Although the devs do admit that it is a little bit buggy, not perfectly balanced, and there are some crashes that you sort of get through that. But there's been daily updates since I bought this game, what, 2 or 3 days ago, and they've already worked on it. So they are actively fixing and improving, which is nice. But I think we've got time for another run. So after you run, gives you your stats breakdown, and I've leveled up, so now I get a perk point for this deck. Also unlocked, who is this? The King of Spells. Let's go back to King selection. So King of Nothing, or King of Spells. I'm just going to see the perks we can get. I think they're different for every king as well. Start with an extra plot per rank. Towers deal more damage. 1 extra card. Troops start with more HP. Castle can level up 3 more times. That's pretty crazy. 1 more roll decree option. Losing a life gives you 30 gold. Free rerolls. Interesting. Just to keep it interesting though, I'm going to go to the King of Spells and see what he does. So he's got a Citadel as his castle equivalent. Wizard, Warlock, Shaman. Okay. Give him a look and see what he's all about. So I guess the King of Nothing and the King of Nature, plus a corrupted version of ourselves. Sturdy unit that deals melee area damage. Good place to start. So what's going on here? Citadel. Structure opponents with... Oh, I'll tell you in a second. Can be mounted by adjacent troops. For each 1 HP it has, increase rider stats by 1%. That sounds crazy. Let's play safe with the clone though. The Citadel. Structure opponents with chain lightning bolts. Right, that's what that was. Okay. Gonna give him an early upgrade, I think. He's just mopping up. Spire heals your units that are closest to death. Destroy a plot to receive 3 random tome cards. Combustion. Area of effect when it kills an enemy. Oof, choices. A wizard. Powerful attacks at a slow rate. Let's grab him. Pop him there. Yep, so it's basically just like our archer from the last round, but a bit slower, maybe a bit stronger. Wild card is nice. We clone the warlocks and just upgrade them, I think. So one thing this deck seems to be lacking compared to the previous deck is that there's nothing there to increase my population quite as easy. Increase attack of all units and towers by 30%. That's crazy. That would be really good for my healing tower as well, but I think across the board 30% damage increase is hard to go past. Level 3 warlock already. So far so good. Here we go. So thankfully, I mean that's tempting, but a farm to increase our population I think is important. A bit one-sided to start with. Is it worth getting a spire to heal? I don't know how good that's going to be. Maybe I'll focus on upgrading the wizard. Oh, here we go. A blessing coming in 9 years. What do we get? Nope, same thing as before. The cards in the target plots will level up in 9 years. Must remember that. Upgrade the wizard. Chain lightning is just nuts. More ranged unit. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, we'll get an elf down. They're barely doing anything. They barely need to. Shaman buffs allies attack damage based on its own. 50% chance of duplicating an enchantment. What else we got? I think I have to go to the Citadel. King of Stone or King of Blood? I don't think I've run into either of these. Definitely not in the last game. Where's Stone? Upgrade the Citadel. Lovely. Creates fruits that trap enemies. That's interesting. Might grab the elf though for a straight up upgrade. Easy. Okay, Stone King cards. Adds 2% damage to all towers and base every year. Builds traps. So that'll buff my chain lightning. Here we go. What else do we have here? Another farm. Yeah, I'll grab that actually for an upgrade. If an adjacent unit dies in battle, summon an imp to fight in its place. That's interesting. I'm going to chuck the quarry down as quick as I can. Upgrade the farm. So obviously, the longer you have these down, the more they're going to benefit you in the long run. Every year adds 2 HP. That's interesting. It was these 3 that were going to be upgraded, wasn't it? So if I pop that there, I'm going to pop the forest here. That'll buff the elves and the warlocks, and then upgrade in a few years. Nice. Blacksmith for damage. Upgrade the farm again. Blacksmith there, so they'll be getting health, population, and damage. That could be interesting, actually. Let's do that. Beautiful. Upgrade the forest. Another straight up 30% damage increase. Doubles the attack speed of your citadel's lightning bolts. God damn, that's a hard choice. I have to do it. Also, when did the elves low-key just become my strongest damager? They just sort of snuck up in there, didn't they? Oh well, good for them. And now the chain lightning is just destroying everything. Warlock's already level 3. No reason I couldn't get another warlock going. Let's roll. Level's my wizard. Level 2. Not a bad idea. Nice. Flame tower. Mobile tower that moves onto the battlefield to burn enemies. I'm gonna grab the quarry. Give that an upgrade so that goes off twice now. So the citadel is just going to get buffed faster and faster. Forest. Not much point paying for that upgrade because it's going to happen by itself. Let's re-roll. Oh, okay. Spores accumulate every battle. That's interesting. There we go. Free upgrade. Free upgrade. Free upgrade. Lovely. What am I going to do? If I give the elves area of attack damage on a kill. So when they kill someone, the enemy will basically explode. In theory. It's really hard to tell if that actually did anything. I'm not sure I want to keep any of this, really. I need a new plot, because I don't want to put any of this next to the farm. Oh, sorry, next to the forest. Let's upgrade the farm. Just shredding them. Could get another ranged unit. Why not? go. Another plot. Right there, I suppose. I'm just going to start with this. Mycelium. Yeah, that works. So shooting little spores out here. Another one there. What do they do? Shaman. Oh, there's the mushroom growing. Oh, it's growing. It's growing into a little turret. Not very strong, but hey, it's free damage. Quarry. No, can't grab an upgrade there. Every poison effect is now applied twice. 10% of all enemies turn into frogs. Okay. And chuck the archer down so it can start getting buffed. Units attacks trigger lightning chain. I need another plot. When is my next expansion? There. Okay. Because you guys are hitting everything, you get the static. It's gone crazy. Add 9 units to the selected troop. That seems insane. Who do you belong to? Are you king of nothing? Yeah, you're in nature then. So 9. I could buff the archers, but I think I'm relying on the warlocks, so I think I just want to buff their numbers. Up to 32 now. Because I'm relying on them to take everything while the range units all sit back and dish out punishment. Paladin. Highly defensive melee troop. You could back up the warlocks just nicely. They're next to the forest, so they will get health increases, but it's their population numbers that'll worry me. Static again. What else have we got? Wildcard would be good. If I get wildcard and clone, I'm going to wildcard the paladin, clone the paladin. So he's level 3 already, so he's got up to 9 units now. And 88 health isn't disgraceful. We'll stack another static shock on the elves, so their chain lightning will do more. You can see the backline's being obliterated by the chain lightning there, which we'll love to see. Cancels the first hit the target would take every battle. Not sure how useful that is. Blacksmith, I could definitely use that. Or archer. Choices. Blacksmith benefits 2 parties, so I'll grab that first. Love watching those buffs roll in. Didn't stand a chance. Another flame tower. Wallmaker builds defensive walls. I'm gonna go with the flame tower just because I've already got 2 of them. Gonna unlock a plot, and I reckon I'll put it right at the front. So this... Oh no! I didn't think that would actually affect the tower because it's construction on the unit, but it actually would have. Well, that's a blunder. Yeah, that was a stuff up, but anyway. The quarry will at least buff it somewhat. Is it even getting a go? By the time it gets to the end, everyone's already dead. Okay, your buildings apply their effects one more time. Doubles all enchantments of all active troops. 9 free rerolls. I'm going to go overwork. That means all of those effects right there got an extra go. So that will stack up nicely over time. Wallmaker. Earthworks might be exactly what I need. Unlocks targets adjacent plots and the target card returns to your hand. Now I can put the flamethrower next to the blacksmith. That was perfect, actually. I might have lost some buffs, but hopefully it'll make up for it by being next to the blacksmith now. Not that I have too much to really worry about right now. Don't have much there I really need. I can get a spire in to start healing things. Might as well get this level 3. It's getting demolished. Grab the wallmaker, just out of curiosity. I'll place the spire, and that'll start healing my dudes. I'm guessing the damage buff increases healing. If he keeps my little tanks alive longer, then nothing can stop me. Alright, final assault. We must play all our cards with pleasure. Archer's getting upgraded. Spire's getting upgraded. Wallmaker's going in. There we go, nice little wall. 500 health. Just in case anyone slips past the army. Alright, we've got your big dude there. He's got boulders. Well, they've survived longer than the last mob. I've only lost 2 units. Unreal. Kingdom has thrived. It's a good game because the rounds are like 19-20 minutes. So if you just want a quick game to jump in, get through a run, a little bit of time, it's quite satisfying. And we're done. So just like that, we've won 2 rounds. We've unlocked now some high difficulties, which clearly we need. And we're making progress towards unlocking more kings. And we can now probably start taking on the endless mode as well, just to get a bit more out of our games. I'm going to wrap it up there. I just thought I would check this game out on the channel, just because I was really enjoying it. And I thought, oh well, I'd like to share just how good this is, because I think it was only about 10 or 12 bucks. It's currently on sale because it's just come out in the last few days, and already, as I mentioned earlier, the devs have already come out and put out a couple of daily hotfix patches, just improving the game, fixing things, rebalancing. So they're paying attention. It's not just a little dump and run sort of deal. So I'll leave a link to this in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And if you like this video and want to see more like it, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot and keeps you in the loop when new videos drop. So thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.